feedback that not only communities, local communities, and the nation would get from something like, building more nuclear reactors, but that would actually feed against the whole idea of being concerned about long-term global energy issues that seem to be a crisis. Every 12 years we're hearing about, we've only got 12 years. Nobody's really talking about that at all, but saying that we shouldn't be cutting healthcare issues. I mean, that's something that we could really dig into and figure out how to make more efficient versus something with the energy that,
Okay, the big issues here. Okay, so for Medicaid to be more efficient, it's already very efficient, but the fraud happens for companies and holding companies accountable. So like for example, Senator Rick Scott from Florida, United States Senator, Republican, he did one of the biggest Medicaid frauds in history, got a big payout, and was able to become a U.S. Senator. So he should probably be punished. Okay, people like him. But when it comes to like healthcare spending, this is one way to support our entire nation.
Something like that kind of exists in order for people to take advantage of it. That ultimately a system is what it does.
Take advantage of it just doesn't really hit the true metrics of what's happening. I mean, this is for at-home care for the elderly. This is for people with disabilities. This is for people, or funding for kids to have health care. And we want happy and healthy communities. They have lower crime rates. We have more productive workers. We have happier families because they know their family members are taken care of. There's a whole, it's just very complicated. I just would not cut Medicaid. All I'm saying is we can do everything you're talking about without cutting Medicaid. We can, like the Chips and Science Act is the blueprint for how to bring back manufacturing, or to even talk about energy in America, or the Inflation Reduction Act that Biden did to bring back battery manufacturing, battery plants and semiconductor plants, and to build green energy in America. China's going heavy in green energy, like super heavy, and solar panel technology is like growing at an exponential rate in terms of overall return for energy. So like we can do all of this at once, but we just need to tax the wealthy at a reasonable rate. And right now the big thing is Trump wants to cut Medicaid to pay for tax cuts for the wealthy. So he's not even cutting Medicaid to cut down on the deficit. Because if you wanted to do that, like I could hear that as an argument. Okay, let's cut Medicaid a little bit. Let's raise taxes on the wealthy. Like that could be part of a plan if you had that. But the real goal here for Trump is to lower taxes on his like friends and just rich people in general. So that's a big issue. For the budget, I mean, for the deficit.
I understand that that's a talking point, but realistically, Trump's, for whatever means are out there, Trump's not running again. So what does he actually get from lowering taxes for the wealthy?
I mean, Elon Musk and all these guys paid him a lot of money to win, so he's probably just doing favors. And also, it's a Republican goal in general. They want to lower taxes. It's like the Republican brand. So it's just kind of what they do. And also, it's numbers. What I'm saying is based off of numbers and projections if we went with a different economic plan.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is it's an easy talking point. I don't think that that's really the goal.
I mean, what else? Why is Trump cutting from Medicaid and then also cutting taxes for the wealthy mostly, and running higher deficits? Why are we not cutting down on the deficit then? Why is Trump running higher deficits than we need to right now?
I don't think the deficit thing is a Trump thing. I think that's a Republican problem.
But he's the one advocating for these policies. I mean, that Trump has these guys on puppet strings. Like, they'll do whatever he says.
The Republican Party will do whatever Trump says?
I'm very confident. If Trump said today we're going to raise taxes on the wealthy and we're going to cut the deficit, I guarantee that would happen. But honestly, like Rand Paul and like Thomas Massie, the libertarians?
Yeah.
They are right now getting attacked by MAGA because they keep on saying like, "Hey guys, we're about fiscal responsibility, but we're increasing the deficit with this bill. Why are we cutting all these programs if we're not even getting a lower deficit in return?" So the true like principled libertarians there are getting yelled at by MAGA, including Trump. I think Trump made a post just for Thomas Massie alone. Thomas Massie is really popular, and especially online spaces, and he's probably the most principled guy in Congress. Trump made a post saying he's going to fund a challenger to primary Thomas Massie, like directly. So like when a person said I want to lower the budget, like Trump said we're going to fund your challenger, and Elon Musk is going to put money behind it to get Massie out of there. So that just shows me that the Republican Party and Trump are kind of a in the same And like you said, Trump is not up for re-election, so maybe he just thinks we can blow up the deficit even more. My view of it, really quick, is just like, if we're gonna do deficit spending, if we were gonna do it for like services for people, so infrastructure spending, we're gonna build back roads and bridges or airports and stuff like the Biden infrastructure plan. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, we get real return on investment that the public can use, and our infrastructure does matter to compete with China. So that's decent spending to me. But the idea we're gonna cut infrastructure and cut Medicaid and cut the Chips and Science Act and not really use those funds, and we're going to use it to pay for tax cuts for the wealthy, it just seems really defeating for like, I mean, I think we could share goals along this at least a little bit, because I don't want to run a super big deficit either, but my method to getting it lower would be different.
Okay, so if I could throw out a little bit of an olive branch, when you say that there's things that we could, agree on, one thing that I think that has been kind of interesting is the recent shift on Israel. You've noticed Trump's policy and his administration has been treating that situation a little bit differently.
The Qatari money came in, dude. The Qatari money came in. The Qatar money came in, and Saudi. The Saudi and Qatar money came in.
Okay, yeah, fine. However you want to. If you want, that's sorry, that's on me, on my side.
You're good.
Yeah, that's actually a great way to look at it. I mean, it's cynical, but it's fine. But it also doesn't line up with what MAGA is about. And one thing to understand is that there's a MAGA constituency under Trump, but that's really kind of like the upper echelon of Generation X and the boomers. And there's a lower constituency under Trump that doesn't care about a lot of that stuff. And it seems like he's understanding that there are different priorities at play. And the fact that when you brought up earlier, who funded his campaign, he had Adelson money too, even in this reelection. And he was able to turn it back on that.
I will say, though, that Trump is still supporting, like, Israel just released the plan, and the U.S. is facilitating it to remove 1 million Gazans to Libya, I think. So that's still happening. So Trump has been, like, saying stuff in the media. Like, he did praise the Houthis and all that kind of stuff, but the plan of ethnically cleansing Gaza is still happening, even if it's not in the media. So I don't know how much... I don't know how, like, Trump says a lot of shit, right? So it's hard to see, like, what the actions are going to be. So we have to kind of wait and see.
Well, I got to apologize a little bit because I didn't really hear much of your show leading up before calling in. But I would, for anybody that's listening, but especially, since you're the host, understand that he is a populist. Mm-hmm. And if you can coordinate people putting together like robust ideas of what he should be doing to please everyone, he's likely to bend his ear towards that, especially because he's not getting reelected again.
But I also think he's very susceptible to, like, I don't think there's a coincidence that, like, I think the Kamala thing she said about Trump being flattered, I think that was in intel reports, honestly. Like, I think he is really prone to being flattered, and like, I think there was a deal to build a Trump tower in Damascus, and he removed sanctions from Syria literally the next day. I don't think it's a coincidence that Qatar was, they struck a deal for a Trump tower in Qatar, a Trump tower, and also the $400 million jet. I don't think that's a coincidence. That came before Trump removed sanctions on Qatar and said how close of an ally they are. Like, Trump is, like, bumping... He's running with some people who are, like, involved in, like, or at least they collaborated with collaborators that helped cause 9/11, dude. Like, it's actually kind of nuts seeing Trump on these tours. I think he's susceptible to money.
Let's be real. Also, when he brought up that Hillary and Obama basically put ISIS together, and the fact that our whole issue with Yemen and the Houthis goes back into Obama's days, and that was Al-Qaeda that we were funding through Saudi Arabia that whole time. So that's that's not a new development for us. We've
It's
been
hard though because you
dirty
could even
on
argue
that
like,
side the whole time.
well, all the Trump Russia stuff. You can even argue that like that Trump was helping the Taliban then, like that Trump was helping the Taliban get away before the Afghanistan pull out because he was negotiating their release and negotiating with directly the Taliban instead of the Afghanistan like government at the time. There's a lot of stuff to look at, but the mother of ISIS thing isn't that just because they toppled Saddam? Isn't that the whole like one of the biggest?
No, ISIS is who we were. This goes. I mean, that goes back to Benghazi and where we were putting our money when we were funding both sides of the Syria
Okay,
civil
well,
war.
I don't have proof
That's where
of
ISIS
this.
came
I
out.
would need. I don't want to venture in the conversation. I don't have any proof on hand for, or that
Fair
I'm not
enough.
prepared for with national. Other than vague generality. So like when I said, toppling a dictator and making bad foreign policy decisions, that's one thing. But also there's a lot of stuff that's unverified or verified about those situations. I don't want to get too far into it. But my final thing for you before I move on to someone else would be, just in general, it does seem like, Trump is very preferential to Putin. I think it's because Putin does kind of sell him this vision of him being like Putin someday, like a big brother type of thing. He really does love Putin. He talks about Xi Jinping with the iron fist. He really does love that as well. He did
I
sleep
think
with,
that's a silly point, but go on.
but he did sleep with Hitler's book by his bedside. Like I'm not saying he is Hitler or is any of these dictators. I'm just saying he likes them. He likes the idea that he literally said this exactly. He likes how for Kim Jong Un, like how his people need to stand and clap whenever he gets in the room, and that's why you see these. Like, did you see the press briefing where Pan Bondi was like, "Mr. President, you saved 268 million lives." Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yes.
Like that shit is literal North Korean level shit, and the fact he's sitting there loving it is scary to me because
It's not
to me
literal
it shows
North
that
Korean shit.
it is.
It's
It is
silly
saying
stuff.
he says she's saying, "Hey, listen here, media. Trump saved 268 million lives." Even the 2020 election stuff is North Korean level propaganda. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I, let me put it this way: you're misunderstanding that there's a very profound opportunity laying at your feet. It almost reminds me, to a certain degree, of if populism was Napoleon saying, "I saw Francis Crown laying in the gutter and I picked it up." Like, this is so easy to take advantage of, and everybody that's just moaning and bitching about, like, I really don't like his attitude, is
I'm sorry,
misunderstanding
I
that
don't
we
agree with you at
haven't.
all. I don't agree with you at all.
No,
Like
I
right now
understand that.
on the prescription drugs, like Trump literally made an EO, okay, talking about prescription drug prices. Bernie Sanders and Ro Khanna drafted bills right away, copying the EO word for word, and Trump refused to do a bipartisan bill to lower prescription drug costs, whatever way they wanted to. So like, there are politicians like Bernie and Ro Khanna and a bunch of them who, when Trump says we're going to lower costs, he says something populist. Trump never follows through. He never follows through. So I would agree with you if this ever happened. I just don't see it, man.
But who passed the bill? Nobody did.
Yeah,
So
because
when he
Republicans
says
don't vote
that,
for it, and Trump didn't support it though. Like Trump refused to put his influence behind it.
yeah, but I mean that's a very silly point to make when you're talking about a bill that never even came to the floor.
No,
That's
but the
just a
point is
talking
Trump
point.
didn't like Trump does not Trump never supports the populist stuff when it comes to actually changing America. Like he's talked about universal healthcare before, and he's talked about like how we need no universal healthcare, no government. He's talked about he talks about how we need borders and strong borders, and we don't have a country without borders. Then he talks to Canada, and I don't know if you saw him say to Canada, we have all these imaginary lines. What if we had no imaginary lines separating us? It's like he just kind of says shit. Like he says shit.
Yeah, that's Trump. I mean, there's
That is
no getting
populism
around that.
too. Like that's populism.
Yeah.
Like Mussolini and Hitler said a lot of pro worker stuff and pro socialism stuff, but they killed the socialists first and communists first. So I mean, they could say anything. They could take any position on anything because they just have populism. It's very vague.
Well,
I'll give
look at
you a
who the
last thing.
unionists are following right now.
Uh,
Look who the unions are pushing for right now, and
um,
let me know if you think they're going to get killed first.
one second. Oh no, I meant no. Sorry, I said commies and socialists.
Well, that's the closest thing that we've got in the U.S., and I'm fine with it.
You think they're commies? You think the unions are communists?
No, I said it's the closest thing that we've got in the U.S. right now, and I'm fine with it.
Okay, well, for unions in general, Kamala won 53% of the union vote. Trump had 45%. It is shifting towards Trump more, but Harris still won more union voters.
Yeah, but look at where it's at right now, based off of the results that we're getting as far as the manufacturing that's coming back right now, where the unions are at.
Now, I'll just say to watch out for that because the union heads are politicians. So they're gonna try to praise Trump, so
I'm
he
not
listens
talking
to
about the
them.
union heads at all. I'm not talking about the union heads.
I
I'm talking
talked to a
about the
Teamster a few
union
nights
heads.
ago. I'll be honest though, I talked to a Teamster a few nights ago. He did not know
I
shit
am a
about.
teamster.
Okay, well, I talked to another Teamster. I talked to another Teamster the other night. He did not know that we paid tariffs. He did not know that businesses in America pay tariffs, for example, or that like we can't make coffee
I
in
don't know. I
America.
don't know how that's true. It's all we talk about. We all know that there's tariffs.
Well, the
So
Teamsters, the
I'm
one
not sure
group
who
that
you're
did
talking
go,
to.
but Teamsters did go majority Trump. But with all unions, it's still pretty, against Trump. It's close though. It's close. But Teamsters definitely were majority Trump for the voting base. Do you like what was his name again? O'Brien. Do you like him?
For yeah, I do, but I don't know exactly what his long term plans are because he's a head guy. So I saw him. I appreciated the position that he took, but I haven't seen anything. I've seen guys come and go, and I've
Mm-hmm.
seen guys flip flop. So far, I'm happy, but it's in the long. We'll see what happens after Trump is gone.
Well, he is a podcaster now, so you have podcasts to watch from the union head, or what is he? What is his position again? His general president. But yeah, thank you for the call. I hope you have a great evening. Thank you for spending time to call in.
Yeah. Good luck, man.
All right, thank you. Have a good one. Manufacturing is back, guys. Manufacturing is back. Manufacturing is back, bro. Do some stretching. The guy was so wrong. Yeah. It's okay, so here's the thing though. See, we do I can't like you want people to watch you, okay? So if I talk to someone and okay, Teamster, all right, you want them to say, "Hey, when Trump messes up and things don't work, where can I go for my information?" So I'm not gonna fight every single point with people. Um, I just gave a general view on directionally what I think and where I see things going, and hopefully in the future he changes his mind. Okay, I'm gonna restart my streams again. Okay, so a very lucky day for everyone. Okay, a very lucky day for you guys because I'm gonna do a horizontal stream, and I've not done a horizontal stream in years. All right, it's been a while, and everyone's hungry for a horizontal stream, and everyone hates seeing YouTube Shorts. It's gonna be called Charlie Kirk Hate Stream. Come debate me if you come debate me. Okay, it's called Charlie Kirk Hate Stream. The horizontal stream is back. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Okay, here. I gotta check my phone. Thank you for everyone that donated and liked and subscribed. I'm checking my phone quick. An error occurred. All right, no one donated on Cash App. No one donated on Venmo, I don't think. Appreciate you guys for showing up. I'm not a stepdad. I'm the dad who stepped up. Wait, someone said 5. Is it Sri? It is Sri. King Sri. I say King Sri whenever Sri donates. King Sri. King Sri. Donated to the stream again. Yes. Thank you for $5. To our amazing mod, Sri. Alright, guys, I'm going to redirect you to the horizontal stream. So join me there. Charlie Kirk hate stream. We're going to do some Charlie Kirk hate, alright? Charlie Kirk hatred. Where is it? Oh no. Charlie Kirk hate stream. See you there, guys. Thank you for watching. Please drop a like, subscribe. $3 a month for channel memberships. Not too bad, guys. Not too bad. $3 a month for channel memberships. Oh, I still have I was gonna try to find the video of me reacting to January 6th. I wonder if that'd be interesting to watch again. Wow, it's been forever. Okay, guys, go to the other stream. See you guys there.